The Frost Empire is on the brink of collapse, and fans can't believe what just went down. Tensions erupted on set this week, and insiders are calling it the most explosive moment in reality TV history. Mona Scott, the powerhouse producer behind the Frost family empire, reportedly threatened to remove major cast members after yet another shocking outburst from Kirk. Frost left the entire production in chaos. Cameras were rolling, emotions ran high, and the energy on set was electric, but not in a good way. It all started during what was supposed to be a routine scene. Sources revealed that Kirk's behavior, described by crew members as completely unpredictable, pushed Mona to her breaking point. Witnesses say she confronted him in front of the cast, her voice shaking with anger yet laced with authority. "This is the last straw, Kirk. If you can't get it together, I will make the toughest call of my career," she allegedly declared, leaving everyone on set speechless. Fans who followed the Frost family drama for years know Mona doesn't make threats lightly. Rumors are swirling that Rashida, always a fan favorite, was caught in the middle of the storm. Reports claim she tried to mediate, but Kirk's defensive attitude only escalated the tension. "I can't believe she's doing this to me," he supposedly shouted while production assistants scrambled to defuse the situation. The air was thick with tension, and crew members reportedly feared that the confrontation could turn physical. Meanwhile, Jasmine Washington, who has had her fair share of clashes with Kirk in the past, was allegedly seen whispering to friends backstage, her expression a mix of disbelief and smug satisfaction. Fans online are already speculating whether this could mark the end of her long-standing feud or the start of a brand new alliance against Kirk. Every social media platform erupted within minutes, with hashtags trending worldwide and fans demanding answers. Comments poured in. Did Mona really threaten Kirk? Is Rashida stepping away? This could be the ultimate meltdown. Insiders hint that the fallout won't just stay on set. The Frost family is reportedly divided like never before, with each member taking sides, and Mona's ultimatum has left them scrambling to figure out loyalties. Even those behind the camera admit they've never witnessed anything like it. It was pure chaos. Emotions were raw, and you could feel the storm coming before it even hit. As fans, you're about to witness a level of drama that could redefine reality TV as we know it. Every eye was on the Frost Empire this week, and no one saw the tension reaching this boiling point. Secrets could be exposed, alliances tested, and the family that seemed untouchable is suddenly vulnerable. You're about to see what happens when pride, power, and pressure collide, and trust me, this is just the beginning. Stay tuned, because once the cameras roll again, nothing will ever be the same. The tension on set was palpable the moment Kirk Frost stepped onto the stage. The cameras were rolling, but this was not just another day in the Frost Empire, it was a powder keg ready to explode. Crew members whispered to one another, exchanging worried glances as Kirk's presence alone seemed to electrify the room. Everyone had seen him act out before, but this time felt different. Insiders claim it wasn't just arrogance or impatience, it was a calculated test of boundaries, and Mona Scott was ready to put an end to it. Rashida Frost arrived on set that morning with a determined look, her hands tightly gripping her coffee cup. She had spent hours in the makeup chair, but nothing could mask the tension radiating off her. As she approached Kirk, he smirked, clearly enjoying the silent standoff. "Morning," he said, his tone casual but edged with an unspoken challenge. Rashida's jaw tightened. "Cut the act, Kirk. We're here to film, not stage your personal drama," she replied, her voice low but commanding. Before the crew could intervene, Kirk made his move. According to insiders, he launched into a tirade that was both shocking and relentless. "You think you can control me?" he shouted, gesturing wildly. "I've built this empire with my own hands. Don't you dare pretend you're the one calling the shots." Emotions ran high as Rashida tried to calm him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "This isn't about control, this is about respect, and right now, you're out of line," she responded, her voice cracking with frustration. The confrontation quickly drew the attention of everyone on set. Jasmine Washington, who had been quietly observing from the sidelines, stepped forward with a subtle smirk. "Honestly, Kirk, you're unbelievable," she said, her tone dripping with sarcasm. "You've had your spotlight for years, and now you're acting like a child." Mona's had enough. That was the trigger. Kirk's eyes narrowed, and the room seemed to shrink as the tension escalated. Mona Scott, who had been reviewing notes backstage, heard the commotion and stormed in, her presence immediately demanding silence. "Enough," she yelled, her voice reverberating through the studio. "Kirk, step aside." Now, her usual calm composure was gone, replaced with a fury that insiders say few had ever witnessed. Kirk's smirk faltered, replaced by a flicker of defiance. "You can't fire me, Mona. You know that, he retorted, his voice dripping with bravado. Crew members report that Mona's next words were chilling. Try me, this family is not a playground for tantrums, Kirk. If you cannot get it together, I will remove anyone standing in the way of this show's integrity, including you. The room went silent, and even the cameras seemed to pause in anticipation. Fans watching online would later call this moment the frostiest standoff in reality TV history. Behind the scenes, whispers spread like wildfire. Rashida was reportedly torn, caught between loyalty to her husband and her growing respect for Mona's authority. I just want the chaos to stop, she muttered to a producer, her eyes darting toward Kirk, who was pacing aggressively. Jasmine, sensing an opportunity, quietly leaned toward Rashida. You know she means it, right? Mona's not bluffing this time, she whispered, her tone almost conspiratorial. Rashida's expression flickered with uncertainty, revealing the cracks in the family's facade. Meanwhile, Kirk's behavior escalated. Sources claim he began throwing verbal jabs at nearly everyone, including longtime crew members who had stayed neutral for years. You all take her side because it's convenient, he screamed, pointing at the production assistants. But I built this with my sweat, my blood. The room's energy reached a fever pitch, and for a brief moment, insiders feared that someone might physically intervene. Fans online were already reacting in real time. Social media feeds exploded with hashtags like #FrostMeltdown, #MonaVsKirk, and #FamilyDrama. Memes, reaction videos, and fan theories flooded Twitter and Instagram, speculating on what could happen next. Some fans predicted a complete shakeup of the Frost Empire cast, while others speculated that Kirk might finally face consequences long overdue. As the confrontation continued, Mona remained the eye of the storm. Her strategy was deliberate. She allowed Kirk to vent but carefully controlled the narrative, ensuring that the cameras captured every moment. You have a choice, she said, her tone sharp and unyielding. Shape up or step out. This is bigger than you, Kirk. The Empire is bigger than any one person, even you. It was a moment of dramatic tension so thick that even veteran crew members admitted they had to sit down to collect themselves. Rashida, unable to contain her emotions, finally confronted Kirk directly. Look at what you're doing. You're tearing this family apart, right in front of the cameras. Do you even care what happens next? Kirk's response was immediate and defensive. I care, Rashida, I care more than anyone. But no one understands the pressure I've been under. The emotional exchange left the crew frozen, unsure whether to intervene or step back and let the cameras capture every shocking word. As the day progressed, additional drama unfolded. Sources say that Jasmine secretly reached out to other cast members, hinting that a major alliance could be forming against Kirk. This revelation reportedly sent shockwaves through the production team. If Kirk thinks he can just bully his way through, he's in for a rude awakening, an insider revealed. Everyone is talking about it. The family is divided, and loyalties are shifting by the minute. By late afternoon, the tension had reached a fever pitch. Rumors circulated that Kirk had been escorted to a private meeting with Mona to discuss his future on the show. Fans speculated endlessly. Would Mona actually remove him from the Frost Empire? Would Rashida stand by him or align with Mona? Would Jasmine exploit the chaos to solidify her position? Every possibility seemed more shocking than the last. And just when it seemed the drama couldn't escalate any further, mysterious phone call reportedly arrived on set. Insiders claim it was a former cast member with long-standing grievances against Kirk, promising revelations that could shake the foundation of the family. Emotions ran high as the cast realized this was no ordinary confrontation. This was a full-blown, reality TV-level disaster in the making. The private meeting between Mona Scott and Kirk Frost reportedly lasted over an hour, but insiders say it felt like an eternity to the rest of the cast. Behind closed doors, voices were raised, doors were slammed, and at one point, security reportedly had to step in just to prevent the situation from spiraling further. Mona was not holding back, an eyewitness claimed. Every word she said was a warning. Kirk, for the first time, looked genuinely unsettled. When Kirk finally emerged, the atmosphere on set had shifted. Gone was the smug bravado, in its place was a tense, calculating silence. Crew members noticed his hands shaking slightly as he approached Rashida. We'll talk later, he muttered, his usual confidence visibly shaken. Rashida, however, was not ready to forgive or forget. She crossed her arms and gave him a pointed look. Later isn't soon enough, Kirk. You've already put everyone through enough. Jasmine Washington, sensing opportunity, moved in immediately. She positioned herself subtly between Kirk and Rashida as if orchestrating a chess move. You know, Kirk, she said softly, leaning in, sometimes the ones closest to you are the ones who will hold you accountable. Maybe Mona's trying to save this empire from, well, you. Kirk's eyes narrowed, and for a split second, his facade cracked, revealing the frustration and vulnerability beneath the surface. Meanwhile, rumors began circulating that other cast members were quietly choosing sides. Sources claimed that some longtime friends of the family were reaching out to Mona, confirming that they, too, had witnessed Kirk's volatility. It's like the house of cards is starting to fall, one insider said. Everyone is questioning whether Kirk can actually maintain control or if Mona's authority will finally override him. The tension exploded during the next scene filming. Rashida and Kirk were supposed to share a heartfelt conversation, but insiders say Kirk could barely stay in character. I don't need anyone telling me how to run my life, he shouted during filming, completely breaking down the scene. Rashida, equally emotional, responded, then maybe you need to step aside before you destroy everything we've built. The cameras captured every second, and crew members later admitted the outburst was so intense, it felt like a storm hitting the set. Adding fuel to the fire, a previously hidden video clip reportedly surfaced, showing Kirk in a compromising situation during a private off-camera event. According to sources, the clip was accidentally leaked by a former assistant who had grown frustrated with Kirk's behavior. Social media exploded within minutes, and fans were relentless in speculating how Mona would respond. Some claimed this could be the ultimate, final straw, while others argued that Kirk might somehow manipulate the situation in his favor. Amidst the chaos, Mona remained a figure of unwavering authority. She reportedly called an emergency cast meeting to address the mounting tension. Everyone deserves respect on this set, she declared, her eyes scanning the room. We cannot allow personal vendettas or unchecked temperaments to dictate the fate of the Frost Empire. This is your warning. Change your behavior or face removal. The room went silent, each cast member processing the weight of her words. Rashida's role became even more complicated. Some insiders suggested she secretly sympathized with Kirk, understanding his pressures, but simultaneously recognized that the Empire was bigger than their personal issues. It's the hardest position to be in, a source close to her revealed. She loves him, but she also understands Mona's point. She doesn't want to see the family implode on national television. Jasmine, ever the strategist, reportedly began subtly influencing other cast members. You can either stand with Kirk and risk the collapse of the Empire, she said to a small group backstage, or you can align with Mona and preserve the future. The choice is yours. The whispers quickly turned into an alliance, shifting the balance of power on set. Fans began speculating that Kirk was losing his grip, and social media engagement skyrocketed as every move was dissected and debated. The drama reached another peak when Kirk confronted Mona directly during a break in filming. Crew members described the moment as unbelievably tense. Kirk allegedly slammed his hand on a table, leaning close to Mona's face. You think you can just control everything? Control me? You're wrong. Mona's response was icy calm. I don't think I can control you, Kirk. I know I can control the Empire, and that's what matters. Consider this your last warning. The intensity reportedly left both Kirk and Rashida visibly shaken. Even minor interactions between cast members became electrified with tension. A casual joke about Kirk's behavior reportedly triggered a silent but deadly stare down, leaving everyone on edge. Jasmine, in particular, was credited with masterfully maneuvering her position, seemingly untouched by the chaos around her. She's playing the long game, a crew member revealed. She knows the cameras, she knows the audience, and she's using every opportunity to solidify her role in the Empire. The finale of the day's filming was described as explosive. Reports claim that Kirk and Rashida shared a deeply emotional conversation that the cameras captured, blending heartbreak, anger, and raw vulnerability. I don't want to fight you, Rashida said, tears streaming down her face. I want this family to survive, but you have to meet me halfway. Kirk's response was a mixture of defiance and desperation. I'm trying, Rashida, I'm trying more than anyone realizes. But sometimes, it feels like no one sees me. The fallout didn't end there. Crew members reported that after filming, heated arguments continued backstage, alliances shifted, and some cast members were reportedly seen leaving the studio in tears. Social media erupted with speculation that the Frost Empire might see unprecedented changes in casting and dynamics. Fans couldn't get enough. Every comment, clip, and leak was dissected, with hashtags like #FrostEmpireChaos and #Mona vs Kirk trending globally. As the day wrapped, insiders confirmed that Mona had indeed sent official notices to certain cast members regarding potential removal if the chaos persisted. "She's serious," one source said. "The Empire is bigger than any individual, and she won't hesitate to make the tough calls. Everyone knows this is her moment of authority, and she's not backing down." The drama was far from over. Rumors of secret meetings, whispered alliances, and possible betrayals continued to swirl. Fans were left on the edge of their seats, wondering what Kirk's next move would be, whether Rashida would stand by him, and how Mona Scott's authority would reshape the Empire. Every moment, every glance, every whispered word could spark another explosive confrontation. By nightfall, the set was eerily quiet, but the storm had not passed. The cast, crew, and fans all knew that the Frost Empire had reached a tipping point. Emotions had run high, alliances had shifted, and secrets were on the verge of being exposed. One thing was clear: the drama had only just begun, and no one would walk away unchanged. The Frost Empire is shaken like never before, and the drama is far from over. Kirk, Rashida, and Jasmine are caught in a whirlwind of emotions, power struggles, and shocking betrayals. Fans are left questioning who will survive, who will fall, and what Mona Scott's next move will be. Now it's your turn. What do you think will happen next? Comment below with your theories, smash that like button if you're hooked. Don't forget to subscribe for all the latest twists from the Frost Empire. This saga is just getting started, and you won't want to miss a second.